Hey flower friends, welcome back to Flower Patch, and today we are going to take a little tour around the house. I'm going to walk around and give you perspective of where my gardens are located around my house. Some folks had said they didn't kind of know where things were at. So I'm going to start up in the very front on the road so you can look back at my house and see what's where, and then we'll walk around the different gardens. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and or share with your friends. Let's get rolling on our perspective tour. So this is the front of my house, and right here is where we park many times, in front of the arbor here, and there's Miss Rachel, the kitty. So as I get closer, you can see here's the arbor, the fence. Over here is where I trained the Eden along the fence. And Mr. Rooster up there on his obelisk. The sun, the setting sun coming through the trees is so pretty with the trees turning colors. But let's take a look. Let's go through the arbor and take a look at the entrance or the front garden that I have taken you along recently. And here it is, the front garden. So we walk through the arbor, and over there is our garage, and that little building, which kind of extended it to give my husband some workspace when he's working on a large machine. Anyways, that's coming down, and down there behind the bench is where we normally park our cars in front of the garage. The garage is too short and too small for both of our cars to fit in it, so we've always parked out in the driveway. Plus my husband needs the workspace inside to work. So up here are those barrels with the roses. These had originally, the red ones, had been all along here in front of the fence. Then I started having gopher troubles and they were eating all of my roses. So I had to put them in the barrels to preserve them. And now I'm ready. I think I've reduced the population enough I can put them back in the ground. So that's a goal, to eventually get them in the ground. And where exactly, I don't know. I think the red ones will go back up here and maybe some of the pink ones, but not sure. So back over here is where I planted my pink dogwood early summer, and it's almost lost all its leaves. It had very red leaves. It was beautiful. This is my native dogwood here that has been here since we moved. It was much smaller, of course. We moved into this house 26 years ago. So along here, still haven't finished those containers yet. But this poor dahlia got zapped last night, but it sure is a pretty color, isn't it? The same with that one down there. I'm hoping, the other ones I dug up recently had gall, which then I have to throw the whole thing away. But this is the Mystic Spires salvia. It's done. Done. And all of that. Of course, the garden is fading away for the winter. Last night we had our first freezing temperatures. It got down to 31. Tonight's going to be the same. So you can see this is the front garden. Now, I will show you where I did, see right here in front of my house, down here in this lower area, because we are on a hill. The hill goes back behind my house and we go down. So yeah, we have weird elevations. This is right in front of my porch. This is where I did the boxwood hedge. All along here, and I want over here to put strawberries in. I have a lot of strawberries to put in over there, and this area I can cover to protect from the birds. So that's the plan here. And then let's go back up to the arbor, and I can kind of show you down the hill. Up through the arbor and to this direction. Now you can see I'm on the corner, so I have a road that goes in front of my house and down beside my house. So here it is looking down the hill. So you can see I'm on a slope. And that back there where the black roof is, that is where all the construction is happening, has been happening. And this is the roadside garden. This is where I put those zucchinis, which I need to pick the fruit off of them because as you can see, that freeze last night really got them. I don't want the fruit to freeze. And there's quite a few on there. So we can enjoy a few more meals and probably another zucchini bread or two. So all along here, one of my chores is to cut back my butterfly bush. Many don't cut them back till spring. I must do it in fall. The snows break it. Another one of the zucchinis. This had been where my compost bin was last year, and I just pulled it up and planted it into the compost. And there's my shadow. There's my Happy Chappy rose. Isn't those colors just gorgeous? It gets so beautiful when the sun is not as hot, and so in the summer those colors bleach out some, but in this fall it maintains the richness of the colors. So all along here, beautiful flowers. The lavenders here did much better. These did not want to make it in the back, and up here they did great. So I don't know if it's because it's sandier soil, poorer soil, or if it didn't get overwatered. I moved this out from that corner because I wanted to plant a climber there. This is my Bosco Bell rose, and these are Tess de Ubervilles. Oh, there goes that saw again. I thought they were done. But yeah, right here I did an Albertine, and I want it to climb up. I'm going to put a trellis up here to the eave up there. And I'll back up and I'll show you one that is similar to what I want to make. I'm trying not to move too fast. See this one going up to the eave, and we have Dreamweaver planted on it right there. I want to put one over there for the Albertine, so it'll match up. So this barrel is coming out. I'm starting to get distracted from what I'm doing. I'm showing you what kind of a slope I'm on. Now, as you can see, it's a slope down through my rose cottage garden. There is Primrose Cottage, and you have to walk down a slanted hill to the cottage. And this all along here is where I have my roses and different plants planted. So we went down the side of the road, but also you can come across the porch and off the sidewalk to get to this. So I have a sidewalk on the side of the house to go to the road. This we got just planted. Everything's doing okay. My Limelight Prime hydrangea. So everything's looking, even though it's starting to fade away, it's still looking good. It's kind of shabby chic right now with it fading away. Look at this rose. This is my Jubilee celebration. And it is just fading gracefully. I think after tomorrow I can cut back and dig up my elephant ears. And all of that. There's one dahlia over there. Look at that pretty white dahlia. I should get over closer. It just now started blooming, so that's probably the only flower I'll get to enjoy from it. So we'll continue down. This is where that Warsaw Nike clematis climbs up this and blooms. So this is a wall of purple when it's in bloom. So okay, there is my front porch of my cottage. I got to get rid of that rack. There's so many things I'm hauling out. I'm trying to clean out the inside of that to get organized. I wanted to take you over. Let's go look at that beautiful dahlia over here. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if I get that to zoom in right. Okay, there we go. It's looking a little singed from the freeze, and I'm sure tomorrow it'll look even worse, but at least I got one flower out of it. I think it was too shaded from all the other plants, so that was probably a bad place for me to put it. So this is where that Nepeta was, that catmint, that huge one, and I pulled it out. It was way too big, and I didn't want it to go to seed everywhere. Okay, let's go down beside Primrose Cottage. I'm getting around all my stuff. I'm in the middle of cleaning, moving, transplanting, and here this area has been neglected, but it's still gorgeous. Look at that. Rose had another few blooms on it. I don't know, something made it bend over, but down there's the house being worked on again. I'm going to turn around, and so here's my back deck, the wood we have under it, and so going through between the Primrose cottage and the back deck is my secret cottage garden. Now, back there off the block wall to the alley is probably a good 10-foot drop, if not more. So you can see the roof line of the house behind us. It's below even, well, my deck. So back here is the secret cottage garden. Oh, I'll show you something we made progress on. So even though it's fading, secret cottage garden is looking gorgeous. This is my Crimson Queen Japanese maple. Isn't that thing just gorgeous, especially with the sun glowing on it? So these dahlias, those probably going to be toast after tonight. But that's okay. They have been just gorgeous. Another Japanese maple. This one I grew from seed, and it wants to throw out these long, super long limbs. And I saw one espaliered, and I think I'm going to do that with this one. But looky here, look. My DIY greenhouse is almost completely clad with the greenhouse panels, and I was trying to cover the door. If you can see, well, here's the panel, and here's the actual panels that I got. You take off this cover thing and place them on it. But we still got a few pieces. I got to cut the triangle part for that and for the back, and then create a back door. So this will all be enclosed. So in here, you can hear it's echoing a little bit. The tomatoes, I don't know, they kind of made it through yesterday or last night's freeze. But if we would have had this enclosed better, they would have done a lot better. But that's okay. We get to things as we can get to them. And these are the marigolds, the Kilimanjaro marigolds. They have a very different scent, but they got very tall, and some peppers. This is my Vigo garden bed. I grew lettuce and basil and cilantro, and I had beans in here, and it has sank down quite a bit, so I need to fill it up. I'm thinking of putting more stuff in there for winter, like lettuces and spinach, as well as in the DIY greenhouse. And there's Miss Rachel again. And over here is my other greenhouse. I am going to start cleaning, well, I am cleaning it out. That's why I have stuff in the pathway here and getting that ready for winter. But here's the back side of my garage, and that's going to come out this direction and eventually come up over where my greenhouse is. And supposedly I'm going to get a new greenhouse on top of the garage below, so it will sit up level with my deck. So in the winter it will get a whole lot more sun. Look at a little birdie. This little birdie twittering at me. He comes every morning. Let me see if I can see him. He comes every morning and he talks to me out here. Now I can't see him right now. Usually he lands on the fence, but I don't see him. I probably scared him talking. But that, my friends, is the perspective of where all my gardens are in relation to my house. And this is my chicken house, which I had planned on getting painted this summer and never did get to it. They have a pretty long pen. You can see how much the weight of the snow last year really sank the roof in, but it's a pretty long run. And I will wrap that with clear plastic, greenhouse plastic, this winter to keep the snow out. That's the plan. I'll leave enough gap for air ventilation, but yeah, that keeps the snow from going in there and making it a mucky mess for them, and they can still have a dry area to run. And so lots of things to do before snow. But I wanted to be able to give you that overall idea of where everything was located on the property. little walk back. Yeah, that raised bed over there, I'm slowly getting it filled, and I'm going to plant that. I'm going to plant seeds in it pretty quick. Some things you can not winter sow, but like cool weather flowers, etc. Like echinaceas I can plant in there and whatever, and they'll sit all winter and then germinate come spring. Or sweet peas, etc. So after I was putting my video together, I thought I should give you the perspective down the road entirely. The workers have not arrived today. I'm hoping because it is a Monday that they're not going to. It's early morning. It's freezing out here. It's like 31 degrees, but you can see here's Primrose cottage. I'm walking down the road. Here's some things down here I need to clean up. This is the type of wire that I put underneath my raised beds to prevent the gophers. So, and down here is a compost pile. I need to start loading it up with chicken litter from the chicken pen, and that will make that cook down and make beautiful soil. Here's one of my raised beds I was thinking of filling up to use back here. But here's the back hillside. Let me back up so you can see it. I have some more raised beds up there being stored in my compost bin. This is behind Primrose cottage. And you'll notice I have some roses back here. And believe it or not, these things get very little water. And look how, well, I mean, dead blooms. I got to get back here and cut them back before any heavy snows, which will break them down. This is my Scepter d'Isle David Austin rose. It blooms nonstop. I had tossed it back here, basically planted it back here on this hillside, because I didn't have anywhere in the garden yet, and I had anticipated digging it up, putting it back when I got a spot for it. And yeah, this thing's so deeply rooted, there is no way I'm getting that out of the ground without a tractor or something to dig it up. But the notable thing is back here, this hillside, for a few summers, this got no extra water. Whatever water came down here was from irrigating up there, and the water sank down because these things just did gorgeous, and I had no drip. I do have drip on them now. So here's my peach tree that almost died, and these are suckers coming up. This was a non-grafted tree. So I'm going to prune back any extra suckers. I'm going to leave 3 to grow into trunks for fruit. This will go ahead and fruit. And that's the beauty of own root. This tree was grown from seed by my grandmother from her peach tree that as a child it was our favorite. Totally our favorite. It has the most beautiful, lovely fruit. So here is the back of my house, our lovely propane tank. We have a whole house generator, so this is a massive propane tank. And then there's the backside of my humble chicken pen and a wild blackberry, which seems like it's been popular with the bears, because right down here is some bear evidence they left behind. Alrighty, so then we call this the alley. And it's just a little dirt roadway between the houses. Here's the house that all the construction work has been going on at. So there you have a perspective all the way around my house. You see the big steep drop from up there? It's the back of my tool shed, and that's the back of the secret cottage garden. So there you have it, the complete tour. So I hope, my friends, you enjoyed that little perspective tour of my gardens. I can still hear that bird twitter, and I don't know where he's at. He's a little tiny thing. Anyways, so come on back for the next video where I've got a lot of stuff planned. There's lots of stuff going on, and I know you'll enjoy it. Still getting ready for winter. Okay, bye. Can you see him over there? Right in the middle. He's hopping around and twittering. Oh, there he went. He moved over there by the smoke bush tree. He's so cute.